buddy. Sticking your tongue out. Look at his little tongue. Okay, so here we are. This is Gazbot, day 4 of 100 days of making comics. It's like about 4:30 here today. It's still light out, but not for long. I have this little crappy balcony porch thing at our apartment, which is basically just big enough to do something like this. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a bird that's just whistling an annoying whistle. But anyway, I might do some more work later, but earlier today I did 2 hours of work. It was pretty much the first thing I did after breakfast, and I did some writing, which was, last night I finished compiling the 2 lists together, well, the 2 documents together that I had talked about in the previous video, and so I had one sort of top to bottom bullet pointed, and then some of the pointed events were fleshed out more of the entire script. But I wouldn't call it a script, really, because a lot of dialogue wasn't there, a lot of specific descriptions. It's more like, in this scene, you know, they get into a truck and drive over to the place and have an argument on the way. That's like what it would say. So what I did today was I took the first of the 2 or 3 of those bullet points and broke them down into what would actually go on a page and added some dialogue and stuff. So I got 3 pages done that way, potentially 4, because the 3rd page is going to be sort of it's either going to be a 2/3 of a page panel or a full page, one big panel. I'm going to figure that out in the layout, which brings up the next thing I did was, I was thinking, is it going to be 3 pages or 4 pages that I've now actually fleshed out to an actual script. And I was watching more Kevin Cross videos, who I seem to keep talking about, but he's a big part of why I'm doing this. And he was talking about the way he works and how he has, he does thumbnails first, which I do too, but he was saying how he would print out 4 templates for an 11 by 17 onto an 8.5 by 11 page to either, he doesn't print it out, but I'm sure you could use it digitally too, but the idea is that you'd have a page, you know, this big with 4 little boxes that would be perfect size for a comic page. It even has the print cutoff box in it. And I was like, I gotta make one of those. And then he's like, oh, by the way, if you want to use mine, you can download it here. So I'm gonna put the link in the show notes so you could also download it from his website, and which is what I did. And I didn't really use it yet, but I got it and I printed it out, and I also made a digital copy because I'm not sure if I want to do the layouts. So I'm not sure if I want to do the layouts digitally, thumbnails layouts, digitally or analog. The advantage of analog is that I can print it out and do them while I'm watching TV or at a diner or something, whereas digital, I won't have to then scan them or change them. I already have them in the computer. But I didn't start that yet. I just kind of got ready to do that. And the other thing was I did a character design, which I did after all this. I kind of like working on a little bit of different aspects of it at a time, rather than, okay, all I did was write, or all I did was this, or all, you know, it's kind of fun to pick different pieces. And as I get further along, I might not be able to do that as much, but regardless, I also did a character design, another main character called Donald Johnson, and he's a corporate guy. He's I'm calling him the director right now. He's sort of the second in command of the corporation. He's not the CEO. He's like the go-to guy, the right-hand man, but not just not a yes man, but you know, the #1 on Star Trek, which is what they called William Riker, who's the commander. I'm not speaking as though there was a urine monster in Star Trek, although if there was. Anyway. So I grabbed a picture of this character Owen from a British show called Torchwood, which is a Doctor Who spin-off, as sort of a rough template for the character, similar kind of pose and attitude. But the costume I put on him was actually from the original Super Sentai, which Power Rangers was based on Go Ranger. The main character, Aka Ranger rather, his sort of white weird suit, and I modified it a little bit to make it look a little less past and a little bit more modern / future. The main reason I thought of the character Owen to be the sort of rough template for this character was because of his face. He has sort of a strange face. I don't want to insult the actor, but I always thought he looked reptilian or frog-like for some reason. I think it's the mouth and some of the expressions he makes. He was also on Game of Thrones as kind of a creep. And here's sort of the cleaned up version with, you know, the background office. So I wanted it to look like a nice office, but he's not the head honcho, so it's not the super deluxe office. And yeah. So anyway, that's what I got done. I also did some house cleaning, which I know you guys love hearing about.
Still not done.
And I need to head out soon to go watch somebody's cat and fish. And on the way back, I'm going to pick up a Papa John's pizza, which is going to be my late Thanksgiving to myself. Because yesterday I basically just had some mashed potatoes and a couple sides because I don't eat meat. And Q, my wife, is going to have leftovers of that tonight. So since I'm going to be right at Papa John's anyway, I'm going to get that, and that is going to be my late Thanksgiving feast. And then hopefully later tonight I'll do a little bit more work. Presto changeo, it's nighttime. I'm cutting in here because it's now later. I have come back, eaten a whole large Papa John pizza, only one. Two would be insane. One is also insane, but I did do some more work. I did a little more than an hour. And basically what I did was take those sheets I was talking about and transfer the newly done script for what ended up being the first 3 pages to rough thumbnail layouts, which I'm going to show you right now.
So this is the 8.5 by 11 sheet with the 4-page templates with the bleed lines in them that Kevin Cross made that I grabbed from him. And then what I did was I grabbed my script and broke it into pages and laid it in as text in the Photoshop document on a separate layer so that I could refer to it, and I did this for each one. And then each one of these small boxes represents 1 page, and I was sorely tempted to zoom in to be able to get more detail, but I kept it to size, so it's only a couple inches big when I did these layouts to keep them super, super rough, which is something I have difficulty doing, especially in the digital age. But I figure if I'm not going to print them out, I'm going to keep them to size, at least at this phase. And if I get through transferring the entire script in this manner, that'll put me in pretty good shape before I even have done any serious heavy lifting with the art.
Yeah, so there's that. And we now continue with the rest of me from earlier today. Either way, I will see you guys tomorrow, because this is day 4, and that means
96 left.
This angle's crazy. It's like,
Oh, welcome to the Gun Show Garage.
see, that's more like a regular arm.
Garage.